The man who robbed an entire country, Jho Low. Imagine someone from your country tricks your Ministry of Finance and takes away billions from them in fraud. That's exactly what Jho Low did. Yes, while it's true that it's illegal to do this, truth be told, he might be the only person in history who managed to rob an entire country. Today, we will be talking about Jho Low, the man who robbed an entire country. I know you must have a lot of questions. What country did he rob? How much did he rob? And most importantly, how did he even do it? Well, stick around to the end as we answer these questions and more, and delve into the details surrounding this ridiculous story of Jho Low. Without any further ado, let's begin. First, let's talk about Jho Low's upbringing. He grew up in a wealthy Malaysian Chinese family, so at a young age, he was accustomed to living a lavish lifestyle. It is worth mentioning here that his family always kept a low profile, something we will see Low apply to his own life later on. Well, being born in a rich household had its perks, and unsurprisingly, he was sent to one of the best schools in the area before being sent abroad to London, where he studied at the elite Harrow School. From a young age, Low was really good at socializing, and going to these elite schools helped him develop relationships with people from some of the most powerful families all over the world. This even included kids from royal families of different kingdoms, including a certain kid named Riza Aziz, who is the stepson of Najib Razak, the former Prime Minister of Malaysia. Remember this name, you will understand later on. Well, fast forward to the year when he had dropped out of his university and was using his connections to make business deals on behalf of other investors or friends, as he liked to call it. And he was pretty good at his job, as his first deal was an $87 million purchase of an apartment building belonging to the Kuwait Finance House. This helped him develop even better connections, and he maintained such a high reputation that he managed to form an investment group which was founded by Kuwaiti Sheikh and Malaysian Prince, not to mention the future UAE ambassador to the USA. This goes on to show how influential he was early on in his career, and how he could deal with big names. However, he notably used his relationship with Riza Aziz and helped him set up Red Granite Pictures, the production company which was later responsible for producing top hits like Wolf of Wall Street. During his time, Low started to party a lot, famously spending millions during these bashes. He was funding this all thanks to his money laundering business with rich individuals and would use his role as the financial intermediary to launder money out. This not only made him millions, but made him notorious with rich people. Most prominently, he used to launder the money that had been stolen through manipulation of the One Malaysian Development Berhad, according to U.S. investigations pursuing him. Speaking of the One Malaysian Development Berhad, or 1MDB for short, let's talk about it in detail. The 1MDB scandal began in 2009 when Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak created the Malaysian Development Berhad, or 1MDB fund. The fund was intended to be used for investment and development projects in Malaysia. However, it was later discovered that more than $4 billion of the fund had been misappropriated. At the center of this scandal was Malaysian businessman Jho Low. It is alleged that Low was involved in the misappropriation of funds. He is believed to have used the money to purchase luxury goods, artwork, properties, and other assets. Still confused? Well, let me explain in detail regarding Low's role in the whole scandal. Low was accused of using these funds as a financial vehicle to purchase assets such as luxury properties and artworks and other investments. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, Low and his associates skimmed off money from the fund to purchase assets worth over $4.5 billion. Yep, you heard that right. Billion with a B. Insane, isn't it? But the story doesn't end there, as Low was also accused of using the money to buy political favors and influence the Malaysian government. He is alleged to have made contributions to the campaigns of several politicians in Malaysia, including Prime Minister Najib Razak, with his stepson being the link between the two. Well, all these alleged wrongdoings, of course, there was going to be an investigation. In July 2016, the U.S. Department of Justice filed a civil lawsuit seeking the forfeiture of assets worth over $1 billion that they believed had been purchased with stolen funds. The lawsuit alleged that Law and his associates had laundered the stolen funds through a complex web of shell companies and bank accounts. The scandal had also sparked investigations in other countries, including Switzerland, Singapore, and Hong Kong. Despite it being quite obvious that Law was behind it all, he denied all allegations, claiming that he had no knowledge of any wrongdoing related to the 1MDB fund. But despite this, justice was served when in July of 2020, a Malaysian court found Law guilty of money laundering in connection with the scandal and sentenced him to 12 years in prison. The court also ordered Law to pay a fine of over $2.7 billion. Wow. So you must be thinking that this is all over now and Law must be rotting in some jail cell, right? Well, Law has evaded capture thanks to his wide influence, and it's speculated that he's living in China, where he frequently travels through important towns in stealth. And that's not all. According to a report in November of 2020, it was believed that Law was presently residing in Macau, in a residence owned by a prominent Chinese Communist Party official. Despite Malaysian authorities issuing an Interpol red notice and claiming these measures are politically motivated, he has been able to travel without restriction. China, the country which is mainly blamed for harboring Law, has denied these allegations. But it's pretty obvious that he's being helped, thanks to the widespread influence of his all over the world. Now, what were the consequences of the 1MDB scandal in Law's home country of Malaysia? Well, if I were to sum it up in one word, it would be disastrous. The scandal has been a major embarrassment for Malaysian politicians and a source of public outrage. And that's not all. The scandal has also led to the downfall of Prime Minister Najib Razak, who has been charged with corruption. It has put Malaysia in the international spotlight and has resulted in numerous arrests and convictions. Overall, the reputation of Malaysia was seriously negatively affected. While his country suffers due to the money he laundered, Law has spent most of it partying. Yes, you heard that right. Before he was found guilty, Law was notorious for throwing huge parties. And guess where he funded these million-dollar parties? From the 1MDB scandal, of course. He would invite A-list stars such as Leonardo DiCaprio to these parties and gift them extravagant items. He even dated big names such as Victoria's Secret model Miranda Kerr, to whom he gifted jewelry worth over $8 million. But his biggest interest was in Kate Upton, whom he had gifted and given money worth in the millions. It is speculated that he would give thousands of dollars to invite these stars over to his parties, which were legendary, of course, given the amount of money he used to splash. In the end, I would just like to say that even though he stole $4.5 billion from a country, this story speaks wonders about how important it is to maintain social contacts. Yes, I know, he used these connections for something illegal, but this does prove that if you know whom to talk to and who to become friends with, you can literally control the world without doing anything illegal, of course. In this day and age, socializing is really important, and people don't hire you for your knowledge or effort. They hire you for your entrepreneurial skills, something Law was a master at. I hope that makes sense. And that's it, folks. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, be sure to like it. I think I've cleared everything there is to know about the story of Jho Low, but if you're still confused, let us know in the comments below. We value this feedback from our subscribers, so please don't hesitate to do it. And lastly, subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.